story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
So just on the question of motive, I actually don't care at all about motive, primarily because I don't think I or anyone else can divine it. I don't know why George Bush and General Hayden and the other officials in the United States invaded Iraq and destroyed it, or why they tortured people, or why they
selector, the Yemeni number, at that mass of American phone bills and phone connections, and simply would have said, hey, anybody in here talk to this number in Yemen? And ka-ching, the San Diego number would have popped up. Now that's all NSA can do with that. NSA then would have handed that number to the FBI. The FBI would have kicked in the door in San Diego and would have found Nawaf al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Mihdhar, two people legally in the United States. They probably would have leaned on them enough, though, and found some reason to push them out of the country, and off they would have landed. So two of the muscle guys on the Pentagon flight would have been there. To answer your question, I suspect Al-Qaeda then may have called the raid off. We don't know what these guys gave up to the FBI. We don't know what else the Americans know. They found these two guys. What if they're laying in wait? Call Muhammad Azad, call the other guys, we're off. I suspect that would have happened. I can't guarantee. But wait, there's one more. I want to get right to the other side. One more point. Very brief. All right. If that would have happened, we still would have not gotten credit for stopping a terrorist attack because we would not have known what we had done.
The fact that the mass surveillance we are doing actually makes us less secure. And this is from a technological standpoint here. And this is something that we, as Canadians, as Americans, have every reason to be worried about. We should be working to make the internet stronger, to making it more secure, because it benefits all of us. And on the issue of, oh, well, I suppose everyone else is doing it too, I don't know about you all, but I don't want to settle. Our nations have never settled for, well, it's good enough for everyone else, right? Our nations have been founded on principles that cherish things like a right to privacy and a right to freedom, and encourage the kind of amazing things that have come out of it as a result of those policies. And so what we're offering you here is this. The surveillance state has run amok. Technology that's enabled us to send selfies 24/7, not that valuable, has also enabled us to be spied upon 24/7.
He had said that this is all pretext. Now he says, I don't care about motive. But pretext is all about motive. If you're prepared to concede that the motives are good, and that it's a work in progress, we have to work to make it better. Now, not really, because he says it's a pretext. If it's a pretext, there's no use trying to make it any better. I argue that it's well-intentioned, well-motivated. There are problems of too much gathering, perhaps not gathering the right information. That's why we need to reform the FISA court. That's why we need to have a range of other changes that allow us to take this work in progress and make it fit in a nice way into our war against terrorism without diminishing civil liberties. I think we can do it. We've done it with other technologies in the past. Let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater. Let's not restrict ourselves from using our tremendous technological advantage that we worked so hard to achieve. Let's work to strike the American balance.
Which is that the more indiscriminate surveillance that you do when you're collecting billions of calls a day, that's from the Washington Post, pre-Snowden, it's throughout all of the Snowden documents that the NSA collects billions of calls every day. Their main problem right now is they collect so much that they can't even physically store it all, even though you can store gargantuan information on a small little drive. When you collect that much, it's impossible to know and to detect when somebody's plotting to attack the Boston Marathon or to blow up a plane, because they're collecting everything about all of us rather than the people that they should be keeping their eyes on.
So Dan, what were your thoughts on tonight's experiences?
Well, it was an interesting experience. We were hoping to run into either Glenn Greenwald or hopefully Michael Hayden, obviously former head of the CIA, former head of the NSA. Would have been great to confront him and question him. I was interested in talking to these guys about the significance of CSEC and the surveillance of Canadians, and how that relates to the NSA spying in America, and whether Canadians should be just as concerned as Americans. So we came out here hoping to get to talk to one of these guys, and we're here with myself, you, Terry, and Lucas was also with us. And somebody was saying, hey, are you guys looking for a couple tickets? So a guy, Lucas, ran up to him and said, yeah, man, we want some tickets. So he gave us 2 free tickets. So we got into the event, and we were able to get in there and actually watch the debate, which was not really a debate at all. I mean, it was laughable, really. The stuff that Michael Hayden was trying to suggest, that they could have stopped 9/11, for example, if they had the kind of surveillance in place back then, the things they could have done. They kept invoking the word terrorism over and over and over, and it was a sham. It was a show. So yeah, interesting experience. I'm glad we got to get in and see it. I'm glad you managed to get some footage of it. And we didn't end up running into any of those guys, but you can't win them all. So it's an overall good experience.
So would you say for people who are looking to get into alternative media and all that, to just go out and try? Because look at the kind of things that can happen. Like you said, we were standing out front, just looking to see if we'd have a chance sighting of them coming in or out,
Yeah.
and ended up with 2 free tickets.
Exactly. You never know what's going to happen until you actually go. I don't know what it is with me, but often these kind of lucky things happen to me. And like you said, you're never going to find out what you can achieve and what kind of things you can cover and who you might run into, what you might be able to expose, unless you actually get out there and do the work and get to the grind and get out there in the streets and do it. So you and I, we went there not really expecting to get a whole lot, just thinking we ought to be there. And we ended up getting in. We ended up getting to attend the event. You got some great footage. We didn't get to confront them, but at least we were there to pounce on the opportunity should it come. So overall, good experience. Glad we did it.
For sure. Now, when we were inside, a lot of the voting was done with people's smartphones. Now, my phone was working fine. Everybody else's was working fine. What was going on with your phone?
Yeah, so this is really bizarre. The announcement that they made in the beginning of the night was, go ahead, power up your cell phones, everybody. Tweet it out that you're here. Use this hashtag. And my phone was completely shut down. No Rogers service, no internet service. No matter what I did, I turn it off, turn it back on. And every single person around me and in that whole building had phone service. And the moment I walked in there, my phone just shut off. And then it was like a 2-hour-long debate, so I was completely without any kind of phone, not able to call, text, get on the internet or anything. Meanwhile, everybody around me was. And I don't know why me. I don't know if they got my phone tagged or something, but me walking into that building, dealing with state surveillance, it's interesting that my phone shut off for the entire duration of the debate until the moment that it was over, and then all of a sudden, poop, it just came back on, right? It's like as soon as we were walking out of there, my phone came back on. So
yeah, I witnessed it as soon as you walked into the auditorium.
Yeah.
It was not working. As soon as you walked out, it was working again.
Yeah, well, that's what you get with the all-seeing spy phone. Is you're going to be subject to their system, and they can just shut us off like that. And that's what the whole debate was about: is a surveillance state. And if they can monitor and track people like us, then they can have an easier way of silencing people like us and making it difficult for us to do our job, which is possibly what just happened to me in there.